CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Restricted access, a temporary closure will soon become permanent. Thanks for joining us. The future of a massive former encampment site near Barrie's downtown is becoming more clear. CTV's Luke Samard now with what's next for the land that surrounds Dement Creek.
This temporary fencing that borders Dement Creek near the heart of downtown Barrie will soon be anything but temporary. The city telling CTV News late this afternoon that permanent fencing will encase this once bustling encampment. All access to the public will be restricted according to city staff. CTV News has learned the cleanup is now complete. Video taken from the scene earlier in the year show a heavily wooded area that was plagued by tents and homes. Fast forward to today, it's now an area with less trees and a stream barely flowing through. The landscape vastly changed. It's been more than 10 weeks since the city of Barrie put up fences around Dement Creek. The Ministry of Environment ordered the site closed due to contamination, giving the city until October 31st to clean it up. According to the county of Simcoe, 44 people were living in the encampment area, with 35 of those people accepting indoor space. This site, according to police, the scene of a double homicide earlier this year. Robert Ladesseur, the man police say is responsible, remains behind bars, facing a number of charges, including murder. Those developments prompting Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall to declare a state of emergency in the city regarding encampments on September 9th.
The city of Barrie does not have control over this emergency until now. Today, I'm announcing that I've declared a state of emergency in the city of Barrie.
The encampment's off Ann Street, one of the largest and longest standing encampments in the city.
When you have a 10-year encampment, the buildup of stuff, whether it's an environmental hazard or just a physical thing, is going to be immense. And as we are taking this on, I'm sure we'll uncover more and more things that need to be cleaned up. The reality is that we as a city will be left with a bill, and 10 years of an encampment will be the cause.
The city of Barrie completing their water samples in the area, with Dement Creek showing high E. coli levels more than 5 times greater than a beach posted for E. coli bacteria.
When you have 100 people using a washroom into a creek that's going to our beach, and you have high E. coli at the beach, at what point do you go, let's go figure out what's happening? This is an issue.
The city is still waiting for an official sign-off from the Ministry of Environment on the emergency act that deemed that site hazardous. There is still no final cost for the cleanup at Dement Creek, and it remains unclear when permanent fencing will surround the site. Reporting live in Barrie, I'm Luke Samard. Sarah, we'll send it back to you.
Okay, thanks very much for that, Luke. Now, as a reminder, we have launched that special page on our website where you can find everything about the state of emergency at ctvnews.ca/Barrie and click on the Barrie Encampment button. A break-and-enter spree has come to an end as Barrie police made an arrest earlier today, putting the brakes on a string of crimes. Let's go now to CTV's Jack Morris. He's on this tonight. Jack, what do we know about the suspect?
Well, Sarah, what we know is that it's a 42-year-old man from Barrie who police captured in the act this morning. A break-and-enter spree, that's what police are calling it. 16 businesses broken into over the last month. Mostly small fast-service restaurants, including here at Tahini's Mediterranean Fusion Cuisine. At least 2 more were targeted on Yonge Street, but the thefts were spread across the city. Police say these weren't smash and grab. The 62 charges he's facing are mainly counts of break-and-enter, disguised with intent, and possession of break-in tools. He would come to the business overnight, quietly break in and steal the money out of the cash register, cash drawer, and go to the safe if they had one. The suspect would also target a few nearby businesses in one night, then wait a few days and break into businesses in another part of town.
Appreciate when you have 1 or 2, it's isolated. When you have 16, it's a huge issue, especially for the business community. And these fast food establishments, this is how they earn their keep. They pay their rent, they pay their employees. To say he's a menace to our community is an understatement. What he was doing in the overnight hours while people slept and left their businesses ready to be open the next business day is unspeakable.
Now, once police identified the suspect and its particular method, they sent teams of officers out to stake out potential target businesses, and that's how they managed to catch him early this morning. Reporting live, I'm Jack Moore. Sarah, back to you.
Very interesting. Thanks for that, Jack. A Midland teen charged with attempted murder, accused of stabbing a 64-year-old man, sending him to hospital in critical condition, is seeking bail. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports.
As a 64-year-old Midland man fights for his life in hospital, the 19-year-old man accused of stabbing him was in bail court today. Griffin Black, who has been in custody since Sunday night, charged with attempted murder, assault with a weapon, and aggravated assault, is seeking bail. The Crown saying the only way that'll happen is after a special bail hearing. Police said the alleged stabbing took place at this home along Hannah Street in downtown Midland. CTV News has learned the men knew one another. Black made his first court appearance over the phone Monday while in hospital. His matter was brought forward today by his defense lawyer, Allison Craig. Police have not revealed the circumstances leading up to the alleged stabbing at the home. Awaiting his special bail hearing, Black remains in custody and is scheduled to return to court later this month. The allegations against him have not been tested in court. Mike Arcelides, CTV News, Barrie.
York Regional Police say one person has been injured in a shooting outside a home in Newmarket, and it is the second time that house has been targeted. Police were called to a home on Hewitt Circle in the area of Bathurst Street and Mullock Drive just after 4:30 this morning. They say the victim is in hospital with serious injuries but is expected to survive. No arrests have been made, but police say shots were fired at the same home just 1 week ago.
The suspect vehicle fled the scene immediately after the shots were fired. When we arrived on scene, we learned that a victim suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries, and they have been taken to a local hospital. This is the second time the residence has been struck by gunfire, and we are treating this as a targeted incident. We are working to determine the connection between the victim and the residence.
Police are asking for any witnesses to come forward as the search for suspects continues. A 20-year-old man was airlifted to a trauma center after suffering serious injuries from a dirt bike crash. According to police, the man was riding on South Mary Lake Road in Port Sydney, that's near Huntsville, when he was thrown from the bike. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. Several road signs have been stolen or damaged throughout Amaranth Township. Police say stop signs and other road markers were tampered with over the past week. Some spray paint with the word "don't" and others removed entirely. The OPP say this is far from a harmless prank and they are searching for suspects. Ottawa took action today with a new bill targeting violent and repeat offenders after police shot a man in Niagara Falls who was allegedly out on bail for a crime against the same woman who was murdered this week. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
On Tuesday afternoon, shots rang out at this busy shopping plaza in Brampton, Ontario. A woman shot and killed a child abducted. The man accused was awaiting trial for domestic violence charges involving the same woman, 29-year-old Savannah Kula. It's these types of repeat and violent crimes Ottawa is hoping to crack down on, with new measures announced today.
This is a package of sweeping reforms that includes more than 80 targeted measures that will make bail laws stricter and sentencing tougher.
The federal Liberal government has been accused of being soft on crime and for allowing a so-called revolving door justice system that's too lenient on violent offenders. The changes announced today are designed to make bail more difficult to get, creating a reverse onus that falls on the accused.
The accused must provide information that clearly demonstrates they do not pose a public safety risk.
The bill also introduces a new set of aggravating factors that will lead to stiffer penalties against violent and repeat offenders, as well as those who target first responders, organized retail theft, and crimes against public infrastructure. Victims' rights advocates, police unions, and some provinces have been demanding these types of changes amid a rise in violent and high-profile crimes. But not everyone is on side. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association says there is not enough evidence that shows bail causes crime, and they worry innocent people will be held in custody as a result.
We do worry that as we erode this charter right more and more and more, we'll get into a situation where just because you are accused of something before you have your day in court, you're held behind bars.
Asked about whether this bill will require more space in jails, the Justice Minister said provinces asked for these changes and should be developing the capacity to manage more people going through detention facilities. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A major story is breaking in the sports world. More than 30 people have been arrested by the FBI for illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by organized crime. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland coach Chauncey Billups were among those arrested. The NBA investigated Rozier back in 2023 but found no wrongdoing. Authorities call the fraud mind-boggling, worth tens of millions of dollars. The FBI say the case involves illegal betting on player performance with teams including the Hornets, Trailblazers, Lakers, and even the Toronto Raptors. Time now for our first look at weather. For that, we'll head to Discovery Harbor. What have you got on your head?
Oh, it's the award-winning Pumpkin Inferno here at Discovery Harbor. It's all about spooky fun here at the award-winning Pumpkin Inferno, and we're going to have more on that. The smells, the sights, the fear, the feel, absolutely. More on Discovery Harbor's Pumpkin Inferno coming up in just a few minutes' time. Let's talk about the weather. There's nothing really scary about that, is there? Well, quite a bit more sunshine than we anticipated for today. I say that with a big smile on my face, but the rain did come down. We're looking at 7 degrees as we speak. The winds, for the time being, out of the west, 9 kilometers an hour. Let's take a look at the temperature outside your door as we speak right now, us being in Penetanguishene, Discovery Harbor. I'm going to let you know that temperatures are just below double digits. We're looking at 7s, 8s, and 9s all across the board. They become 9 as we go further south in our region. And as far as the forecast radar over the last couple of hours, well, certainly we've had some rainfall. We're looking at some clearing skies now for the time being. Discovery Harbor. Pumpkin Inferno. It does have kind of an eerie feel. It's open from October 1st to November 1st. Have a look around, and that's what you're looking at there straight ahead. Yeah, that's the pumpkin, and that's the coffin ride. That's where we are next. More on Discovery Harbor's Pumpkin Inferno and the coffin ride. Testing my own wits, Sarah. Coming up in just a few minutes' time. Back to you.
Thanks, Case. And I just love the story behind who carved all those pumpkins. We'll learn about that a little later in the newscast. But today, advocates turned out at Queen's Park for a rally, sounding the alarm about unprecedented levels of food insecurity. They're calling for a freeze on rent, social assistance rates to be raised, and an increase to the minimum wage. Organizers say despite numerous reports showing record levels of food insecurity and food bank use with clear policy recommendations, things are not getting any better, and thousands across the province are struggling to make ends meet. Maple tapping season is still several months away, but it's another agriculture sector that's been impacted by the dry summer and fall. CTV's Mike Lang caught up with local producers as they prepare for another season of struggle.
Maple syrup producers are fearing that this coming spring won't be as sweet.
Where I think we're really going to be affected is the sugar content.
Brent Beers co-owns Maple Grove Syrup in Severn Township. He says it could take significantly more resources for their final product to taste the way it's meant to.
Typically, it takes 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of syrup, or 4 liters of syrup. So when the sugar content is low, that ratio can double.
With dryness already depriving trees of the nutrients they need, Associate Professor Gerardo Reyes explains that maples are even more sensitive to drought conditions.
They actually respire more than photosynthesize, and that makes it so it's harder to store those starches in the tree itself for maple syrup production come the end of winter.
And of course, this past year's ice storm poses another major challenge.
We had about 1,650 taps, and I would say right now we'll be lucky we'll have 1,000 taps left.
Which would be a double whammy for Orville Hutchinson and Oromodonte, who compares this year to a notably dry season from the 1920s.
We had to boil double the taps with the same amount of syrup, so it could happen this year too.
There's been a lot of work, a lot of help from neighboring producers as well, helping their neighbors, and it's a very good community that way.
The good news, however, producers say they don't expect there to be losses in quality or increases in price, especially those who use natural resources such as wood to boil their sap. But in the meantime, producers are left trying to stay optimistic and hope for more rain this fall. Mike Lang, CTV News, Barrie.
There will soon be a new Indigenous-inspired ice cream flavor found on grocery store shelves. The cherry on top, the collaboration is between two innovators found right here in our region. CTV's Rob Cooper explains.
Zach Kijig of Owen Sound is an Indigenous chef who owns and operates Nagan restaurant in the city's downtown. While his dinner here will be served locally, a recent ice cream recipe is making international headlines. He teamed up with Chapman's Ice Cream to win an international award for a new flavor that pays homage and respect to his heritage while curating the ingredients of Indigenous culture.
It's been a great opportunity for us to showcase Indigenous food and put Indigenous food on the map of Canada.
The two created a new flavor called Sweetgrass, maintaining Indigenous heritage.
We've been serving a version of the sweetgrass ice cream, in our restaurant on the tasting menu for quite some time, but I wanted to showcase it on this sort of a level to, introduce people to Indigenous culture.
Chapman's no stranger to different flavors of ice cream, as they have about 180 in total. Chapman says they approached Kijig with the idea and knew it would do well internationally.
We said, let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can make this into like a real ice cream that we could kind of, market as a collaboration. So it worked.
And worked it did. International awards, international attention, and now big expectations to possibly keep it going.
We are always experimenting with different flavor profiles, but most of them don't make it in any way, shape, or form close to a grocery store. But this one was unique.
I'm hoping that it inspires other Indigenous people, to take a shot at putting their stuff out.
So what's next for the sweetgrass flavor? Chapman says if they can get it to a stable extract form, that may open the door for it to be available at your local supermarket. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Markdale.
Still to come, the keg's been tapped and the music is playing. Yes, and the Lederhosen returns for another year as Oktoberfest Muskoka gets underway, where to find the food, fun, and celebrations. Plus, a local choreographer describes her latest work at the Art Gallery of Ontario as a post-apocalyptic bedtime story. Discover why just ahead. You're watching CTV News Barrie. First up, as we take a look around the region, a local choreographer is producing a dance installation at the Art Gallery of Ontario in Toronto that examines a post-apocalyptic regeneration of our planet. Story Creatures is a creation by Kate Hilliard, a multidisciplinary choreographer who presents original music and movement with a collage of nature, machine, and spoken recordings in 6 different languages, telling many stories, with this being the start.
The human beings of the planet are sorting themselves out and working on this landscape that has just been devastated by human impact. So it's dark, but it is light. It is light as well. It's a story about a rebirth.
Don't miss Story Creatures at the Art Gallery of Ontario in Toronto this Saturday and Sunday. Over the next 4 days, communities across Muskoka will be bursting with Bavarian spirit as the 5th annual Oktoberfest Muskoka is officially underway.
What time is it? Cake tapping time! Right.
We had a very unique keg from Ukraine, supporting Ukraine, and Bracebridge Mayor Rick Maloney, he gave it one heck of a tap, and we're spurting out Clear Lake beer, and we couldn't be happier.
Look at that, Stein. The celebration launched earlier today in Bracebridge with the traditional tapping of the keg. Each night, musicians and entertainers will be performing at participating restaurants and brewers where traditional Oktoberfest features will be served, like sausages, pretzels, and of course, sauerkraut.
We're honored. Nay, we are absolutely thrilled to invite you to experience Oktoberfest Muskoka in all its barbarian glory.
This is the 5th year of Oktoberfest in Muskoka, and it is one of those events that continues to grow and grow and grow. But on top of that, we have a huge number of residents and tourists alike that come from all over to enjoy the fall colors, to enjoy our waterfalls, to enjoy Muskoka in its true beauty of fall. And we're just really inviting everyone to come on up and enjoy Bracebridge in the fall.
From Dragtoberfest in Gravenhurst to Family Fun Fest in Bala, festivities run until October 26th. If you dare to enter, the town of Bradford West Gwillimbury's youth team has turned a recreation center into a full-on haunted house. For just $3, people of all ages can step inside the frightening halls of 226 Colborne Street to experience a spooky adventure. There's a little bit of terror around each corner, but it's all fun for a good cause, with proceeds going towards supporting the town's youth recreation center and its programming.
We've had so many participants that are just as passionate as we are with Halloween, so it kind of only made sense to pair the youth with Halloween, and we also take high school volunteers, so it was a perfect partnership there to do kind of a haunted house, get everyone some hours, and put on a fun event for the community.
Now, this is really neat. To make sure that everyone can enjoy, there's 2 scare level options available every day at different times, running until October 25th. Barrie's annual Halloween celebration is returning this weekend, and it promises to be full of ghosts, goblins, and giggles. Now in its 5th year, Family Fright Fest is transforming Lampman Lane Park into a Halloween wonderland. You can expect costumes, crafts, food trucks, and spooky fun for all ages, and the best part, it's free. The event is being held on October 25th from 4 p.m. until 9. Now, all of these local events can also be found on our website. Yes, you can also keep up with breaking news as it happens. ctvnews.ca/Barrie, or scan that QR code on your screen. Next here on CTV, from players to coaches, it was a busy day on the field for the 2 teams vying for a World Series win. We'll take you there, but first, let's check back in with Case.
Sarah, it's a ride unlike any other. Maybe your final ride, the coffin ride here at Pumpkin and Inferno, and I'm not so sure this was such a good idea. But oh, what a ride it is. And oh, what a ride Mother Nature has planned for us over the next little while, says our weather watcher artiste. Have a look. Yes, a little bit of rain, a little bit of thunder, a little bit of flurry activity. Yeah, that's what Alex says. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
Picture this, brought to you by Bounce 1041 and Pure Country 106.
He seems very impressed. If you have a spooky or silly Halloween costume for your best little bud, please do send those photos our way. The best costume pics will be chosen. Picture this at ctv.ca. Let's head back out to Pumpkin Inferno. Case, now I recognize this hat. It was a gift to you from Dana. We picked it up together when we were at the Barrie Farmers Market. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. The coffin ride was a little on the creepy side. There's no doubt about that. That was not easy, Sarah. That's not easy. Someone a little claustrophobic like me. Yeah, that was a lot of fun though, and that's what it's all about here. And yes, the hat. Our buddy Dana, yeah, gave us that hat, didn't he? I remember it now. How's it look? I hope it looks good. Just like the forecast, there is hope for the forecast. There truly is here at Discovery Harbor for Pumpkin Inferno. Let's take a look at the temperature right now as we speak. Beautiful bay here, Penetanguishene. We are looking at temperatures in the area of about 6 degrees in Collingwood, not far from here. Parry Sound about 8. We're looking at 7 degrees in Gravenhurst, 9 in the Sunshine City of Aurelia, 6 in Mount Forest, and call it 10 degrees in Toronto. This is a look at the almanac for today. 10 and 4, that's a high, that's a low, right where we should be. A record 24.5 back in 1991 for record heat, and record low, record cool. It's cool here this evening, not minus 3.9 like it was in 2023. Sunrise, sunset, we're looking at 7:45 it rises, 6:19 it sets, grand total of 10 hours and 33 minutes of daylight is what we're to enjoy. That's right, I know, yes. Talk about the forecast radar makes me scream too. Oh, the showers rolling through, and they're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, as much as 10-20 millimeters of rainfall we've already experienced, and there's more on the way, although looking across the bay right now, it's looking pretty nice. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay, Lake Simcoe. Overnight temperatures settling in quite nicely, I might add, and they're coming in at about 2 and 3 degrees, which is chilly, eerie, lovely. 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall expected, off and on showers this evening, and then for tomorrow, well, how about 8 and 9? We're not making it to double digits right across the board. No, we're not. Cloudy, 40% chance of showers, and 5 to 10 millimeters of rainfall is in the area if it so decides to come down. This is Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, 2 and 3 degrees. Showers off and on for this evening. And then for tomorrow, 9 and 10 degrees. Oh, I see 11 in Richmond Hill. Cloudy, 40% chance of showers. Participating. Parry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Haliburton, 1 and 0 overnight. There is a chance of some flurries. There is. No round of applause here. That's right, Pumpkin Inferno. They want to hear about flurries. There's some shower activity, too, a chance there of shower activity. And then for tomorrow, much the same situation, but just a 30% chance of showers and or a few flurries kicking around. 8, 7, 6 degrees in Haliburton. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now, time for the Diamond and Diamond Lawyers 5-day extended forecast, and it looks like this. Here we go, starting with Simcoe County. And Simcoe County, we are looking at Saturday, sun cloud, 40% chance of shower activity, 9 degrees. And then, well, here comes the sun. Sunday, sunny skies, 10, 12 degrees on Monday and sunshine. And we introduce a little bit of cloud cover on the Tuesday, and 9 degrees for the high. This is the 5-day extended forecast. Hello there for York region. Saturday, sun clouds, 30% chance of shower activity. Sunday and Monday, sunny skies, 11 and 12 degrees. Everybody like that? Sunshine, 11 and 12? No. Oh, yeah, a few mixed reaction. Tuesday, it looks like sun and cloud and 9 degrees for the high. This is the 5-day extended forecast. Muskoka, Parry Sound, Haliburton. Have a look. Beautiful weekend. Saturday and Sunday, sunny skies, 8 and 12 degrees is what we can enjoy. And Monday, 12 degrees. And Tuesday, 9 degrees. The sun wants to stick around. And as mentioned, we're sticking around here at Pumpkin Inferno, Discovery Harbor. And it's some kind of spooky, I might add. Yeah, real spooky. And with us, joining us right now is Candace Moreau from right here, Pumpkin Inferno, appropriately addressed, I might add. And that, I'll tell you, that coffin ride was something special. Yeah. But there's so much going on here. Give us an idea as to what we can expect in some of the new attractions.
Perfect. Yeah, Pumpkin Inferno, as you said before, has been running for 10 years. We have so much going on here. We've got new displays this year, so if you've been a few times and seen our old displays, we've got brand new ones, from Jurassic dinosaurs to UFOs to clowns, so something for everybody in the pumpkin displays. We have our toxic swamp behind us here, and we went for a little walk. It was a bit scary. Yeah. And then, of course, the coffin ride. We have a couple very new attractions. We have our Secrets of Seance, which is, it's very cool. You go for a Victorian seance within one of our historic buildings, and it's a very intimate experience, so it's very cool. And then we also have our escape rooms, and we have 2 of those. So our main escape room, which you have to get out of a jail. And then our other one is a 5-minute risk game where you have to work together as a team to get out. So,
Seance, very interesting. This is an area, it's fair to say, that is quite active with paranormal activity all year round. Is that correct?
Yes. So we do have our Supernatural Saturdays in the summer, and lots of our stories from our ghost tours that happen all summer long are actual stories that have happened here on our site, a lot to our workers who work here daily. Even last week we had a sighting of a big black-topped man following our workers around as we were getting the site ready for Pumpkin Inferno.
Oh, so there's lots of, it's a friendly place though. I mean the paranormal activity, they're all friendly.
Oh yes, there's no harm done. They know we're here for a good time.
Yes. Not easy to be in the coffin ride. Have you tried the coffin ride?
I have.
And apparently when you're in the coffin, it shakes?
Yes, so it really simulates an actual burial. You get to witness yourself. You see a screen that shows you the actual burial of yourself. So it's not for the faint of heart.
Did you hear that, Sarah? Not for the faint of heart. Somehow I managed to get through it. I'm not so sure Sarah would do well with that, but certainly a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about here at Pumpkin Inferno. 10 years now, 10-year anniversary,
yes.
And open from October 1st. We're into October, of course, and closing on October right through to November 1st. Yep. What are hours?
So we have our walkthrough Thursdays to Sundays from 6 till 10, and then we have Wednesdays, we have a special accessibility night where you can actually take a drive-through of the site. So if you're not able to walk our whole site, which is about 2 kilometers, you can take those tours on Wednesday nights.
Thank you for the invitation, and pardon me, my hands are cold. I just got out of the coffin.
Right out of the coffin ride.
Sarah from Pumpkin Inferno, trying to hold it together, sending it back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks, Case. Challenge accepted. I'll definitely try that coffin ride. Reporters from around the world have flooded Hogtown ahead of the World Series. Today, players and coaches from both teams hit the field for practice and media day. The Jays and Dodgers fielded questions, including some from our Allison Hurst.
Preparations are in full swing as the Blue Jays get ready to host the Dodgers for Game 1 of the World Series.
Everybody says it's a dream come true, which it is.
Coming off a big Game 7 win, a world of media attention has descended on Toronto, and players are trying to keep calm and have fun for the Fall Classic.
I played some of my best baseball in my backyard as a kid, so I try to bring that with me out there, and hopefully that can be a little contagious, and the boys can just relax and enjoy it, because it's a special moment that it may never happen again.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. says he was in touch with his mom earlier today.
She say she proud of me, and no matter what will happen, she always going to be proud of me.
Fans are also proud the boys of summer lasted into the fall and are feeling good about their chances.
We're on a run, and we got them, no problem.
My gut doesn't lie. It's saying Jays in 6.
We're an underdog, but I think the boys can come through.
Tomorrow's starting pitcher, rookie Trey Yesavage, knows they're playing for a huge fan base.
We represent this entire country, and we're this country's team. So we want to go out there and do everything we can to make this country proud of us.
For manager John Schneider, this is a career in the making.
I'm just thankful and humbled that I'm the one doing it, leading them into the World Series.
The LA Dodgers arrived in Toronto last night, bringing with them their star-studded lineup, drawing huge international attention. Starting pitcher and heavy hitter Shohei Ohtani, who was rumored to come to Toronto for the 2024 season.
He was a once-in-a-lifetime guy on your roster, but here we are, and I'm going to have to face him at some point.
Fans lined up early and all day, hoping to get a piece of the merchandise.
One of those nice World Series hats and maybe a T-shirt.
I was able to get some stuff for the older ones, but not for the baby. They have stuff for babies, but not World Series branded stuff.
Excitement and anticipation mounting ahead of Game 1. Allison Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
And as if they don't already have enough to celebrate, 3 Blue Jays are among the nominees for Silver Slugger Awards.
Guerrero high in the air to deep left field, and that one is gone.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, and George Springer and the Springer Dinger are all in the running. Guerrero and Springer chase their third, while Bichette looks for his first after some MVP-worthy seasons. Winner will be announced on November 6th. Next here on CTV Barrie, one of Canada's top think tanks just released its latest report card. We'll have more on where Canadian tax dollars really went and the results. They might surprise you. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Do stay with us.
Bounce 104.1 wants you to bounce to the beach. Listen for your chance to win an all-inclusive vacation for 2 to Sandals South Coast in Jamaica every weekday. Bounce to the beach with Sandals Resorts. Get closer to the Caribbean.
Recapping our top stories, the temporary fencing that borders Dement Creek near the heart of downtown Barrie will soon be removed. According to the city, a permanent fence will encase the area moving forward, and all access to the public will be restricted. A break-and-enter spree has come to an end as Barrie police arrested a 42-year-old. The Barrie man is being tied to 16 break-ins that happened between September 23rd and this week. He now faces a total of 62 charges. Zach Kiesig of Owen Sound is an Indigenous chef who owns and operates a restaurant in the city's downtown. He teamed up with Chapman's Ice Cream to win an international award for a new flavor that pays homage and respect to his heritage while curating the ingredients of Indigenous culture, sweetgrass ice cream. Well, how does the government spend our money? It's an age-old question that taxpayers should want to know. Now, one of the country's top think tanks is out with its latest fiscal accountability report card. CTV's Scott Hurst breaks it all down.
It appears Ottawa is not quite making the grade in a new fiscal accountability report card. Now, we heard from the Prime Minister in his pre-budget address talking about generational investments, but also sacrifices, all the while Canadians still have not yet seen the latest federal budget. And overall, that is one of the main concerns pointed out by the CD Howe Institute's report card on senior governments, saying too many budgets are late and most governments take far too long to produce their financial statements. Now, here is a look at where each province ranks, with Alberta coming in top of the class with an A+, Quebec earning a B+, a whole host of provinces coming in with a B, while Ontario earned a B-, and the federal government, as we've already talked about, earning a letter grade of D. Now, the report points to the feds being late in both its budgets and financial statements, presenting estimates using different accounting, burying some key numbers deep in its budget, and also having a large gap between its projected and actual results. And to make matters worse, Ottawa is on track to be the only senior government to potentially get a failing grade next year. Now, it should be important that governments are accountable to us. We are, in fact, the tax-paying citizens. Their money is our money. And as the report states, Canadians shouldn't have to be experts in reading balance sheets and annual reports just to understand how their money is being spent. So this provides a snapshot to the tax-paying citizens and those governments, of course, in a simple letter grade format. Now, this rating on senior governments is not so much about overall results, rather accountability, meaning are they providing reliable and accessible financial reports, ensuring the public, you and me, the tax-paying citizens, can know enough about our government's spending plans. And as the report simply points out, can taxpayers follow the money? Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
In business news, motor vehicles and parts dealers led retail sales gains in August. That's according to Stats Canada. Sales at motor vehicle and parts dealerships rose 1.8%, marking the third straight month of growth. New car dealers also saw a bump, while used car sales, they climbed too. Overall, Canada's retail sales rose 1% in August to $70.4 billion. Turning to our markets, numbers jumped across the board this morning, boosted by strong energy and base metal stocks. Let's go ahead and take a live look at where we stand now that we've reached the end of the day. The TSX was up 203 points, the Dow was up 144, and the Nasdaq was up 201. And commodities oil was up, closing at $61.79 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing at $41.45 an ounce, and our dollar up to end the day at 71.46 cents US. The Canada Industrial Relations Board has ruled against the Postal Workers Union in its challenge of Ottawa's decision to end the strike last year. In 2024, during the busy holiday season, the government ordered Canada Post employees back to work under Section 107 of the Labour Code. The union argued the move violated its right to strike, but the board disagreed, though one member of the three-person panel dissented. And Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport is preparing for a major increase in cross-border travelers as Air Canada launches new routes to the United States. So, starting next spring, the airline will offer non-stop service to New York's LaGuardia Airport 4 times a day. There will also be 3 daily flights to Boston, 2 to Chicago, and 1 to Washington Dulles. Air Canada is making this move as Billy Bishop Airport prepares to open U.S. pre-clearance facilities, letting travelers clear customs before they even take off. Still to come, Jays fans are stepping up off the field. How they're showing team spirit in a whole new way after the team beat out the Seattle Mariners. Details coming up next.
Time now to take a look at your Thursday night primetime lineup. The NFL pregame starts at 7 p.m., followed by football, Minnesota versus LA at 8 p.m., and CTV News Barrie will air once the game wraps up. A hit musical made a timely tweak to one of its biggest songs today. Performers in the upcoming Toronto production of We Will Rock You took the time to show some Blue Jays pride during rehearsals. CTV's Jessica Smith has more.
I've had my share of sin kicked in my face, but I've come through.
The cast of We Will Rock You, the musical, took some time out of rehearsals to put their own spin on a Queen classic in honor of the Blue Jays.
We have been working on the song, Galileo and I, and then we got all the cast yesterday, so we learned the song yesterday. Thankfully, we all know this song. And then, yeah, we just were like, this is the best way to support and show our love.
In celebration of the Jays' epic Game 7 win to clinch the American League East and advance to the World Series, the cast of the upcoming Mervis production remixed a cover of We Are the Champions.
Of the World Series.
Singing We Are the Champions with what's going on in Toronto right now is just like a perfect fit. Even like other Queen songs like I Want It All or We Will Rock You, like there are anthems that are perfect for what's going on during the World Series.
A musical ode to Freddie Mercury and Queen to help rally fans behind Canada's team.
And if anything, they're the underdog, which I think is totally represented by Freddie Mercury and his music and his magnetism and his reach. So I think you're drawing an apt comparison there.
The new production features an all-Canadian cast beaming with national pride.
The Jays are kind of more than Canada's team at this point because I'm not sure anyone is in the Dodgers camp anymore, which might mean that the Jays are the world's team.
Go Jays, go!
The cast is hoping to celebrate a World Series win and the opening of their show We Will Rock You, the musical, here at the CAA at Mervis Theatre that runs from November 28th through to January 4th of 2026. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
And as excitement ramps up for the World Series, a Toronto-based illustrator is making waves by turning George Springer's iconic home run into art. Dave Murray, a big sports fan, posted this awesome image of Springer rounding the bases on social media. He says he stayed up late while traveling to catch the Jays in action. Earlier this postseason, he shared a cool art piece of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s bat flip home run as well. Well, many landmarks across the nation are showing support for the Toronto Blue Jays, and that includes here in our region at Canada's Wonderland, where Wonder Mountain will be lit up in blue for the duration of the World Series, but of course not to be confused with Dodgers blue. And Blue Jays fans are showing some good sportsmanship after their team beat the Seattle Mariners for a spot in the World Series. Following that nail-biter Game 7 win over the Mariners, one fan posted on social media that they'd be donating to Seattle Children's Hospital. The post went viral, and soon after, others followed suit. The hospital thanked Blue Jays fans for their generosity, saying they've received about 100 donations so far. All right, let's head back out to Pumpkinferno. You made it, Case. Have you recovered from the coffin ride?
Yeah, the band's kind of helping me out right now. Sure, it's no Monster Mash, but they're just getting ready to kind of scream out a song, if you know what I'm talking about, Sarah. One more time, let's talk about the Get Up and Go forecast, and it looks like this. First thing tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock in Barrie. How about 3 degrees? Little shower activity? Yes. And 2 degrees in cloudy skies in Newmarket. Little shower activity. And by chance, at 7 o'clock in the morning, 1 lonely degree in Gravenhurst, showers and/or flurries. Now that's truly spooky. Sarah.
Thanks very much, Case. I am Sarah Freemark. That is all the time we have tonight. But why don't we head back to Discovery Harbor and leave you with the sights and sounds of Pumpkinferno.